offense. They will be running a dive offense supported by D.Va, and right now they're just feeling out the situation, taking a look at the Esporati defense, certainly sizing up the Torbjorn turret, seeing that's in the cafe, and for now, they are taking their moment as Vision goes in, wins a Tracer battle, and now it's a 65 as Expert Jason has way more room to work with.
Well, in Esporati, they're running a Sombra and a Torbjorn, and they're running a Reinhardt as a solo tank, so trying to use that shield to be something to sit behind. Did's finally able to respond, though, with a big kill to Vayne to at least equalize things, but the thing is, the point's being captured. It's 2/3 of the way through, and Core is just going to be a little bit too late to actually get on top of the point. It's going to force the backline, the squishy members, to just fall.
And now Team Expert will fully secure things out here. They take down everyone in the cafe. No more lattes for Esporati, and no more point A, Jason. Always upsetting when your coffee break gets interrupted like that.
Yeah, I don't know if I was actually a fan of the comp they were running. Like, the Torbjorn's not necessarily a bad pick. We've seen,
in the right position to move over and make this fight work, but he's already under heavy pressure, down to half HP. He's in no position to drop the visor here just yet. Has to back up and get healed, and no, he is chased right down. That is going to be Decon taking him out of the fight and creating necessary space here for Team Expert as, Jason, they are rolling with reckless abandon right now.
Yeah, Esporati is just not able to put up a good defense here at all, and, you know, it's unfortunate for Dids. He obviously would use the visor there, but if you're 0-7, the Tracer player for Esporati, you need to get that D-suit onto next to allow this one to be effective. In the meantime, they're just trying to stall for a couple extra seconds. There's no real chance that Esporati is going to hold this point, but Expert doing what their name implies, being experts on this map to have that extra freedom. He cancels out enemy ultimate with his own on Dids, who's playing the soldier. In the meantime, the pulse one to come through, so he gets Gustav away. The payload needs to be contested. Someone finally touch it. It's going to be strong to be able to come in here, but the kills are stolen all the way here of Expert.
And this is Esporati gasping for life here at the very end, just desperately trying to delay, and everyone knows what happens here. You throw your bodies on set point for a good cause, try and eke out the last few seconds, but that delay is not going to be too much at all as Team Expert, a dominant time being set here, 3 minutes and 10 seconds back as the rest of their team comes in here through the front, but Team Expert, they're not looking too bad here. They do lose in vision, but the rest of them very healthy, and they have the sound barrier to help support on this fight, which is going to aid them heavily in pushing Esporati.
He's going to be going in directly towards the backside, but so is Cranks as well, trying to kill the supports. He's actually being forced out by cores on the Winston. The self-destruct not only going to connect onto too many, but you can see the kill feed. It's going red here. Looks like Cranks is able to stall up enough time here for Team Expert to just hold on and defend against Ron.
Well, that was a tale of two Genjis and two front lines where both Genjis went to the respective opposite thing off the barrier. It's going to be tough. Now, they're going to the cafe once more. Core's Primal Rage on deck. But while this is going on, they lose Lucio in the back, so this dive is a little bit discombobulated.
It is, but I mean, they're able to switch things up, right? They went on the high ground of the cafe, which you need to see a dive do, because if you go into the lower hand side, you can't be protected. The Fire Grenade's going to just shred you apart. You get control of the high ground, and you fight with the height advantage, that vertical advantage that's so important to have in any FPS game. But ZP, we're approaching the last minute of time for Esporati. We have 3:10 left for Expert. Position away.
Well, here comes Cranks. The Dragon Blade is out. The sound barrier is supporting it, and he takes down his opposite number Genji in the final swipe. So Team Expert already starting off strong here, and they are piling on here, Jason. Esporati leading members by the moment, and they're down to their last 15 seconds. They can't really disengage now.
Not anymore, and Cranks, more importantly, did kill Strong when he used his blades. He actually eliminates that ultimate. They're still picking up kills here. 10 seconds left to go as they force Dids on the respawn. People are still trying to run back in, trying to force some sort of overtime, some sort of contention, because they need to pick up this point. They need to continue to push this payload if they can even get there. And there we go. Overtime is now kicked off.
Overtime is in progress in Esporati, looking for a miracle. If there's going to be a miracle, it'll come from the Tracer, but no, Zoro's Pulse Bomb comes up dry, does not get what he's looking for here. And Esporati still making this a somewhat chaotic melee. They have options here, Jason, to bring this back. However, Cranks trying to deny hope, but it's not quite enough. And we see Esporati now still keeping the dream alive, but they have to stand the point.
Well, Vision's still there, and he still has pulse bombs to use, but he's not going to connect that one. Venus did hit a good sleep dart, but Core is actually the last one alive here on the payload. He's trying to stall for some extra time. You do have Ditch switch over to Sombra so you can rejoin the party. Cranks just respawning back in to join. Venus even switching to Soldier here, ditching the Ana, because they want to get back to this point as quick as they possibly can. The Tracer now, 0-7, is going to touch that point for the overtime. It's just so taken away. They need to get some kills. They need to get some men here.
They need anything here, but their Tracer goes down. Their Sombra's out of it. They have no more DPS options. And Esporati going to go down decisively here in Hollywood. They made it a little bit interesting.
I like it, honestly. I don't know how he was doing on the D.Va in particular, how defensive he was playing, but as we did see his backline dying over and over again, you can kind of imagine how much presence and pressure Cranks is putting on them. But so far, of course, with the initial kill on the decon, we've seen almost Panda here just trying to keep his team healthy up towards the backside, trying to allow them to have that mobility to rotate around when they need to.
Well, the upside here for you is right. When you win that early Winston battle and you're up a Winston, you can be a lot more aggressive. You can make way more space for your soldier in the back, and they take great advantage here where Dids plenty of room to work with here. Finally has a Genji go up into his face and Cranks, but it's a little bit too little. They're going to be trading out beats with Esporati, and Dids with a golden opportunity to drop the visor here and end this fight decisively for Esporati.
Well, the thing is that barrier helped Venus get his Transcendence, was able to buy enough time for him to turn this one around. You can see 2 kills now for Team Expert.
Oh, no.
Even Decon just going for the knockoff. He gets the kill on the Dids, says hello to the bottom of the Lijiang Tower. Jeff Kaplan going to be happy about that one, but Esporati just lost too many people. Zoro just trying to come in to stall for some extra time, switching over the Tracer, or playing the Tracer, but he's just not going to be able to do too much here with just not any backup, and that's going to be first point here to Lijiang Tower taken.
So you might think that Dids died there, but the reality is that the lower stages of Lijiang are underneath the control center. That often.
And it's really rough too, for me, I'm thinking of against Nex, who, because you shoot so slowly, you only have 6 rockets in your clip, you mitigate one of those rockets, you take away so much damage you can potentially do, but it doesn't seem to matter here. Dids does get the kill on a Veinless. Looks like he was not really expecting the fair to come in as he gets caught off, and he's brought it. Not a bad start for them. They've lost too many people now. For some reason, Gustav has gone down to Winston. I'm not sure where he was, but he wasn't with Dids.
I think Esporati just went a little bit too aggressive there. They got the early pick on Veinless. They could have pulled back a bit. And
Reaper, and maybe next patch we'll get his place back here, maybe get some revenge. But right now, 99%, we're going to see Esporati come back in here. They still have the post bar on 0-7 to maybe turn the tides, maybe somehow pick up some kills. But again, he's being forced out. Post bomb has come through. Decon's just going to jump away to save his teammates, and the Transcendence is going to keep him alive on top.
Well, we are in overtime right now, and Esporati once more fighting for dear life, trying to get any delay in here. That self-destruct not going to do too much to affect the fight, as Expert able to finish things out strong, taking down the rest of Esporati and firmly.
Yeah, I mean, self-destruct on that point, it always, it's such a weird...
Teams are now just trading off here in the courtyard. It's going to be Cranks finding his man in the back to start things off, and once more, Expert starting things out on the right foot. 2 kills, now 3 up, and Jason, this should be a very swift early take for them.
I mean, it might just be a swift early map as well with the 2-0 lead. Like, you see Veinless, if he can take down 0-7 one-on-one, that's never a good sign. Zoro seems to have been having a very rough game so far against Veinless in this situation. We saw it comes down to now their ultimate management, if they can just keep these ultimates used to a minimum to win these fights.
Well, as you said, the name of the game is Ult Economy, and that means Dids is next man up. He needs to have a successful fight here, and he's going to have to go in now. He's down to Zenyatta, but he's up attack visor.
They've given up so much positioning here, ZP. Like, no one's on the point. They're capturing here, and they're being knocked away. Finally, the Winston's going to come back in, but is it even going to be enough? He's almost by himself.
Winston a little bit late to the party, and Vision just camping out here. Crank's able to come in on the flank, and Team Expert going to casually bring this one back. And Jason, it feels like time is flying by. Esporati would counter dive into the hard, and Esporati, they held their ground to good effect here, where Team Expert, again, they're going up the gut here, Jason, one way or another. They're trying to brute force this, but Esporati peppering them down from the high ground, but they don't convert on the kills here. In fact, it's Expert who punished the dive here of Esporati, and who needs to go for the high ground, Jason, when apparently going up the gut is working out really well for them.
It ain't broke, why fix it? I mean, they felt, I think, really confident in the first try, and the second try works out for them splendidly. Not going to have a lot of ultimates to use those EPs. We're going to transition into the next phase. You don't have Veinless with his nano ready to go, but we're going to have Cranks with a blade. We're going to have a pulse bomb up. And we have Envision
coming out here from Envision, where I think Reaper is criminally underplayed here, and he takes it right to Zoro. That's a good opening for Expert, who have these 6 versus 4 here.
Yeah, one of the few heroes that EMP really doesn't do too much against, to be honest, because you could just keep attacking away with those Hellfire shotguns, doing a lot of damage, especially if you get some clean shots off. If that Demon's going to be desuited, that's going to be almost Penta going down. Envision picks himself up 3 kills. He gets nanoed himself just for the extra damage that he can do here. The point's going to start to be captured here in just a few seconds. Once they get this desuit, this kill onto the Diva, the reinforcements are going to be coming in. He's probably looking to hold this point, not let a single tick go.
Well, Envision proving that he can not only just creep with Tracer, he can creep with Reaper as well. He is the cleanup on this point right now, and Crank's going to pile on. The Dragon Blade is out. Esporati is getting cleaned out of their own house right now, and this is looking like it could be a pretty quick capture here at Anubis.
It's up to Dids. He needs to get his boosted up. He's at 90%. He needs to stay alive here as he just transitioned to his ice form to make sure to build this up. He's going to have it now, and this could be the big thing for them. Unless they can eat the ultimate, no, Next will not be able to stop this from coming down, but they split up. They followed off the point here. Decon does get the kill eventually on the Dids, and the self-destruct is going to have to zone them up again for a little bit longer, but it doesn't matter. The kills are still in Expert's way. No one is dying here, ZP.
Expert might be chilled, but they are not out of this here just yet. Cranks with the dash resets, puts it over the top. 3 minutes and 39 seconds left on the clock here for Team Expert. Open things up here for Esporati, where now they have the 6v5, and Dids will have plenty of paths open to him, Jason, to just lay in the damage with Widow from the back.
I was going to say, they're 6v5, they're still moving in really slowly, but that second kill coming through is allowing them to get the confidence maybe they need to get this first point, and I can't really see a chance for Team Expert to really hold this, but Bayless somehow able to get the high ground, gets the kill on the Dids. But 0-7, the man we've been talking about, want to see him, play a little bit stronger, maybe because of the freedom he needs from his team, has been able to finally pick up some kills, finally get some momentum going for himself.
And this has been really good for Esporati. And let me just ask you this here, Jason, is that do you think teams sometimes misjudge how they deal with the Widow, where you see someone dive down really deep, and then get picked off and create an opportunity? Now, Expert has been able to bring this back, much to their credit, but rolls in with the Primal Rage, but perhaps gets a little bit too angry for his taste, has to run out at 140 HP, and Esporati, they've dealt with this pretty well. Not only do they force Winston back, they deal with Cranks, and they're pressuring here once more.
CP, I didn't know your kind of party room was a fight club. You're a lot more hardcore than I expected there. You just saw Winston just smacking people away.
Yeah, the part where you think I'm just a klutz and got a black eye from falling down, no, I have bars of soap.
You got like tattoos on your biceps of the amount of guys you've been able to beat up.
You have no idea.
I don't. That's why I'm kind of scared. I'm actually be very nice to you for the rest of this trip. But so far, Esporati, with those ultimates, with 6 ultimates actually, not committing a single one, take the point. And now Team Expert will have the EMP, which a lot of pressure is going to go onto Veinless. He's got to buy time for Towers to pick up his sound barrier to delay again. He's got to hope Cranes can pick up some kills. But Veinless has to hit a good EMP to stop the 6-man snowball from coming in.
And Sombra is at least one of the good heroes to do this here, where it can interrupt the momentum, but the kills aren't there immediately for Team Expert, and they're thrown on their butts here as Son moving in, the Dragon Blade. Creeping through. Will this be enough?
Cranks went down, he had his blade, he just used it, and that sound bird of almost panda was huge. It actually stopped him from picking up any of these kills and any of these resets. The point, it's only a third done here, but the kills are going all the way up Esporati. They're buying so much extra time. Less than 5 minutes on the board. The sound bird going to use out of tallies just to buy some extra time, but this is not looking good for Expert.
This might be Old Blood versus New Blood, where New Blood takes Assault a lot more seriously than some of your veteran players do, and Esporati, they've done their homework here. They've kept Expert off their game, and we thought Expert went in fast. Esporati going in a bit faster here, but their time of pressure might be coming to an end. We are seeing more kills come in here from Expert, but they don't have much room to work with here, Jason. If they get off for even a moment, this will be Esporati's point.
It will be, but Decod picked up so many kills already here, and they're still going to have that Lucio play out of Tally just to buy some extra time for the respawns. Veinless has got the EMP yet again, but he needs a point quickly. Yes, Cranks is going to be there just in time, but Cranks will go down. Veinless, where are you at, son? The EMP goes off, but he's by himself. He has no backup, and there we go. Esporati, their most played and most confident game mode in Overwatch.
People. Either way, Expert needs to use these resources effectively to get this point and keep open the hope of getting the last point once more. But you see Dids in the back, the nano visor on him, a diva in his face, so this is going to be a bit of a trade out, but he finds Cranks. The hope that Cranks would go off here is not going to happen, as Esporati appears to be holding firm here once more.
Credit to Dids and credit to almost Panda and Gustav to keep him alive. He was kiting 3 people by himself here with the nano visor, and they were not able to pick up that kill in time before he was able to take down Cranks, who had that blade going in vision. Just trying to run away here, about 20 seconds left to go. They've invested almost every ultimate into that last fight. They're going to have the Primal Rage at a Decod, and Veinless has switched away from the Ana over to Soldier, so they're throwing everything they have at this point. They need to capture this, or they're looking at just a third capture for Esporati to pick up a map.
This is full-on Hail Mary here for Team Expert. They are praying for a miracle, but they lose in vision immediately. Both teams swapping out Tracers. The last gasp here for Expert. Decod, though, Primal Rage as his trump card. We'll see just how much he can delay and do damage here. He gets slapped into the back. A beautiful sleep coming up from Gustav as Dids just unrestrained, piling on here.
This is really unfortunate for Team Expert, who looks so good on that first attack with Decod. You're not going to do too much more by yourself. Yeah, you're going to prop the Primal Rage. You're going to be slept. Did he get slept into the jump off point at the same time? He did, but luckily Vision's going to be there to at least keep it in overtime for now, but they still lost too many people.
Decod has the most stylish of maps, Jason. I don't know what you want from that, but they are not able to keep pressure on the point and
can't keep them in check, or even Decod, then it's going to be Team Expert's downfall.
This is where Dids can play baseball, where baseball, one of the only sports where you can be successful 25% of the time and be a good player. He only has to get a pick off on 1 of 4 pushes, and he's totally fine here. That said, Decod falls immediately. His counter dive doesn't work out well, and yeah, Esporati already starting out here on a very good note, as Dids feels comfortable to go in even deeper.
All right, well, this is still going to get even more difficult as he gets the kill on a Cranks there with a great shot, a little flick. And we're seeing him get a second. He's going to fall. Can he get a third potentially here? But either way, it doesn't matter. The damage has been done. He gets it. Tally, stop challenging this man. It's just a shooting spree, a shooting gallery for him to get the 4. And it just, we talked about Widowmaker, how important it can be to capture the point. Well, that's going to win the map here.
Oh, Dids putting on it.
Post bomb is almost ready to go, and it's really hard to hit a decent EMP here. You can see, goes directly to the back. I think he catches 1 at max.
Well, he catches 1. Veinless is going to fall immediately here, but Expert, a lot of them weren't in that EMP, so they're just able to dive right back in, Jason, and go, by the way, EMP didn't work. We're coming back into you with authority, as Envision just treats his counterpart to the back end of that pulse pistol.
All right, well, there we go. That's going to be the first point taken here. Looking really easy for Team Expert. Cranks now with his blade ready to go. They actually haven't pushed up as aggressively as I maybe thought they would because they got enough kills. Picks up the kills, and our next is trying to pick up this 1v1. The respawn advantage is going to be here for the defending team, and the payload has not actually progressed any further here. Cranks rejoining the party, gets initial kill on a 0-7. Next is still not being dealt with here as towards the back, as you can see him just doing so much damage.
The flankers from Team Expert are back in the fight, and they get their prey immediately. Cranks right now, dash resetting back and forth. And look at this, Primal Rage meet Tactical Visor, and Decon gonna be the top at the end of that. It does get subbed towards the end, but you know what? When you do a little bit of work, Jason, you deserve a hard-earned nap.
This one's alive. The counter Soundberry going to catch only on the 4 years. Next Envision, unfortunately not going to catch on to that one. But Zoro 70 does get the Pulse Bomb over on the Decon, but Cranks and Envision have been able to pick up kills.
Cranks right now just looking for any targets to stick his blade into, and he finds two. The disruption is coming in, and the payload is continuing to move forward as Team Expert piles on the pressure. Just a little bit away here as Esporati is in full-on delay mode here. They are looking for a hope and a prayer, but Zoro 7 is dead. Usually this has to happen from a Tracer or some crazy flanking DPS play, but Expert, they're having none of this here, Jason, as they get kill after kill. This one should be punched in soon.
They get the focus, and they don't have any defensive ultimates to use. They don't have any ultimates to actually stall for some time, and finally, with 41 seconds left, Expert will do it. They will finish off Route 66, and now Esporati, the pressure's on them. Or they're just going to use it onto anyone they possibly can. It's like at 95%, they're actually going to buy the time with the help of the Sound Barrier.
The Sound Barrier comes in, and Expert now licking their chops. The Nano Blade is in station, so they wanted to use everything here in one fell swoop. As Cranks just hunts down the world's saddest Lucio, stuck in the corner. No, that's actually sadder. Winston dying at the very end.
Well, actually going to push aggressively here, too, to pick up more of these kills. Zoro's going to at least get one of the decod, but they've lost so many men. There's 15 seconds remaining here, ZP. They have no ultimates to use. Your Team X don't have any either as the Pulse Bomb's coming up, but the time is on their side. They finished with 41 seconds left, and Esporati can't even capture this first point.
Esporati, the question is, can they even touch a payload in time? They're going to try. He had a chance to stick Lucio and did it. Now just goes for Chorus. He's immediately down. Losing your Winston when you're trying to delay, not a good look as Envision gets his man after all. 3 unanswered kills here from Expert. The delay from Esporati likely to fall ineffective here as Team Expert finishes things out. Gustav taking a little bit of late time meditation, but Jason, that's probably not going to be enough as Team Expert is looking at a first point hold here on Route 66, and they end the series 3-1.
So now we can just look at this and maybe say our Expert just a little bit too weak on Assault because every other map has been hands down convincing. Hollywood finishing with them finishing the map with 3 minutes of time left and Esporati not capturing the first point.